There are basically two ways you can increase your earnings with ad on your website. The first way is to increase the time a visitor spends on your website. And the second way is to write on topics that earns you more dollars per 1,000 page views. In this video, I'm going to show you how to do both those things. I create content websites that are mainly monetized with ads and also with affiliate. So if you want to learn more about that, subscribe to my channel because I create videos every week where I teach you about how to create these websites yourself. So as I told you, the first way to make more money with ads on your website is to increase the time that the user spends on your website. And this is important because the ads on a website from these premium ad networks that we work with, they typically refresh the ads every 15 seconds. That means that the longer a visitor stays on your site, the more ads they get to see. There are several ways you can make sure that the user will stay on your website longer. The first way is to make sure that you place the most interesting stuff in your article toward the top, at the very top actually. That will make sure that the user immediately see that you know what you're talking about and you're actually an expert on this because you know exactly what they want to see. That makes sure that they don't bounce off immediately. And that's the first thing, to make sure as few people as possible leave the site immediately. You want them to stay past those first couple of seconds where they're just taking a little bit of time to see if you know what you're talking about. And also, you shouldn't get into a long talk in the beginning about why you got into this and why this and that. You need to get straight to the point in the beginning. Don't warm up people. People hate that. They just want the facts and they want to make sure that you have the answer that they are looking for. So by starting out with the best content inside your article, you make sure that people stay, and you might think that people will leave as soon as they get the good stuff. That's not how it works. When people see that you know what you're talking about and you have expert knowledge on this, they will actually keep reading on. I have been testing more than 80 writers over the last year in order to find my own team of writers. And many times what I see with the first couple of articles from a new writer is that they will sort of come up with this cute story in the beginning and they will warm up the reader all through the article, and then at the very bottom they will finally come to the conclusion and give people the good stuff. And I think people do this because they want to keep the reader engaged. They want this suspension that you want to wait for the answer. But remember, today we have a very short attention span. If you show the reader right up front that you know what you're talking about, you give them the perfect answer right on from the beginning, they will actually keep reading because now they know that you have the answer they're seeking and they want to know everything you have to share. Another good way to keep people on your site and keep them engaged with your content is to add the table of content feature toward the top of your article. You know, where people can see exactly what's inside this article. That will allow people to jump to the section they're actually looking for. And a Canadian study showed that 20% more people will stay on your site if you do this, like in general. This is important for several reasons. The first reason is that we are writing longer and longer content for Google. In order to secure those rankings, a short article today is around 1,500 words and a long article is probably 4,000 or 5,000 words. So when you land on that article, it can be pretty hard to know exactly where you need to go in that article. And those long articles are always ranking for a ton of related searches, or long tail traffic as we call it. That also means that you will have a lot of eyeballs and visitors to your site that are looking for something that's hidden deep down into the article. And you need to make it easy for people to reach that and quickly see that you actually had that content on this article. Another really cool benefit to adding the table of content is that you will get these horizontal links under your listing in the Google results page. That's really great because you will take up more real estate on the search result page and you'll get more clicks directly to the part of the article where you want them to go. Another great way to keep people on your site is to look into what we call top exit pages. It's a report inside Google Analytics where you can see exactly where the most readers are leaving your site. You need to take a close look at these pages and make sure to fix them. In order to fix this, you can take a look at where people are not leaving your site, where they're actually staying for a long time, and just pay attention to what you did there. And make sure to work on the intro for these pages where people are leaving right away. Because if they're leaving after a few seconds, you just need to make sure that you captivate them, you hook them in the beginning of the article in order to make them stay. Another thing you need to get really good at is to work with the subheadings on your site. Craft some really good subheadings that captivate the reader, just like the main title, you know, the H1 toward the top of the article. When you get really good at crafting these subheadings, you'll make sure that the reader's eyes will stop every time they start skimming. Because nobody reads a whole article. Nobody will read 3,000 words. They will start skimming eventually when there's something that they already knew. And in order to prevent them from leaving and just skimming all the way to the bottom, you need to stop them every time you have a new section or a new subheading. I usually craft all the subheadings for my articles myself, so my readers really just have to fill in all the blanks in these sections. Because I want to make absolutely sure that the reader will not bounce because I have some super boring subheadings. Another really cool tip is to shoot a little video once you're done with your article and just mention some of the main points in this article. This video you can embed into your article for all those people who don't like to read text. A lot of people prefer to watch video over reading text, and to cater to all these people you will keep many more folks on your site. You can also upload these videos to the ad networks like Adthrive, and soon you can also do it on Ezoic. In order to do that, you just go to the dashboard and upload it, and then they will place some ads on your videos. So it's also a great way to maximize your earnings with ads. And if you don't like being on camera, you can use software such as Lumen 5, which I'm showing you here. It's a great program where you can create videos really fast. Inside the software you can choose between a ton of images and video clips that will make some short engaging videos where you can place text on top of the screen. But a little warning here, don't upload those videos to YouTube. They hate this stuff. I had 2 YouTube channels banned last year because I was uploading these Lumen 5 videos. YouTube does not like these sort of auto-generated videos, so stay away from that. Just use them on your website and upload them to your preferred premium ad network in order to use them on your site. Another tip here is to work with the article until it looks interesting to the reader. That will keep the reader on their site, and as you remember, that's the main objective here. But it will also enable you to show more ads if you break up the content with more little line breaks and bigger fonts, more tables, more bulleted lists, and so on. So the longer the article will be, the more ad slots you can place into this same article. And it will look much more interesting. There's nothing worse than coming to this wall of text with almost no images and no line breaks. You need to guide the reader because they will be drawn to bulleted lists and bolded text and all that stuff. That keeps the reader on the site and that keeps them engaged with your content. Another good way to keep the reader on your site is to work with your about page. Make sure that it shows trust and authority. Show your face up there and tell the reader right on at the top why you know what you're talking about and how you came to get this knowledge. The more they see you as an expert, the more likely they are to stay. I've been working with SEO clients for more than a decade, and many times I've been doing these mouse tracking videos where I can record what a real user on the website is doing, how they're engaging with the site. And many times I found that the reader will point the mouse to the about page, check it out for a few seconds, go back to the article and keep reading. So you need to make sure that people find exactly what they're looking for on that about page. That'll be a picture of you and just a lot of confirmation that you know exactly what you're talking about and you can solve their problems. Adding internal links between all your articles is another great way to keep your reader engaged and keep them on your site. If you can add a little more page views to the visit, you will definitely increase your ad earnings a lot. That's one of the main ways you can work with your ad earnings in order to increase them for the same reader. So you do this by going back to all the articles you wrote previously and see where you're talking about the same things that you're talking about in your new articles. So remember, if you're writing 10 articles, when you get to number 8, 9 or 10, it's time to go back to the first articles and place link to this new content. That's something you need to do on a consistent basis in order to get those internal links. It's also really great for Google rankings. If you get really good at placing those internal links, you can definitely boost your rankings. It's not a major ranking factor, but it will give you a boost. And this also goes hand in hand with the batching of articles that I talk a lot about on this channel. So when you're planning out a list of new topics to write on, make sure that at least 5 or 10 of these articles are what we call in a batch. That means that they are around the same very narrow topic. Maybe the same specific product and how to use that and stuff like that. So in order to do that, it'll be much easier to create those internal links between these articles. So that shows relevance to Google and it keeps the reader engaged as they can jump through these different articles and spend a ton of time binging your site. Now I've shown you a lot of ways you can keep the reader on your site. As I mentioned in the beginning of this video, the other way you can increase your ad earnings is by focusing on content with a high earning per 1,000 page views. For some reason, some articles and some topics will give you around $5 per 1,000 page views. And other articles will attract another demographic where the ad earnings are closer to $100 per 1,000 page views. So this makes a huge difference when you're planning the content for your site. Let me show you here inside Ezoic and Adthrive quickly how you can find these numbers and how you can take this into account when you're planning new content. Here inside Ezoic you find what they call Big Data Analytics. It's a really cool platform and you can dig into a lot of stuff here. And one thing that's really cool in here is that you can see all the data and correlations across all your websites. As you might know, I have many websites running Ezoic ads, and when I pull up this data here, I can just turn on all my sites, or I can dig into one specific website. And now I have already sorted the list here by earning per 1,000 page views, so the URL I have at the very top here is the one that makes me the most money per 1,000 page views. But this one only had 1 page view, so it doesn't really make sense. So I can add a filter here and say include page views higher than, let's just say 200. So this is according to the date interval that I set at the top. So I think this is for the last 30 days. Let's see what happens here when it's loading. So now we have sorted everything out that doesn't have at least 200 page views over the last 30 days. And now you can see my top earning article is sitting around $25. And the next one 24 and so on. And if we turn it the other way, you can see that other articles are only making $1 per 1,000 page views, or 4 or 6 or 7 or 8. So it makes a lot of sense to dig into this data, and it's by far the most important report to pull up and to monitor across all your articles to know what type of articles is doing the best in terms of ad revenue and what type of content should you write more of when you're finding new topics to write on. They also had this data inside Adthrive. They started showing this, I think, 2 months ago. I've been bugging them about it for a while. So if you go in here to earnings RPM per page, that means revenue per 1,000 page views. Let me zoom in a bit here. So they don't have the same features and data here that you find inside Ezoic. For example, I can't filter out anything that has a few page views, so I have to look at everything here. Remember, this is per 1,000 page views, and inside Ezoic it was per 1,000 visitors. So let's see what my lowest earning article is. So the lowest earning is only $2 per 1,000 page views, and 8, 9, 11, 14 and so on. So again, you should totally look at what type of content and which articles are bringing you the most money per 1,000 page views, so you can create a clever content strategy moving forward. I have a video up here that you absolutely need to see. In that video I'm showing you how to do this inside Ezoic. It shows you all the secret ways and all the most intelligent ways to craft a list of topics where you know you'll have super high earnings. This is all great if you have an existing website, of course, but what if you're just getting started out, or what if you don't have enough data yet to dig into these numbers? Then you need to do something else. Then you can take a look at Google Keyword Planner. And in here you can see how much advertisers are paying per click for different keywords. And you will see here that it differs a lot, and many times these numbers are correlated with how much money you're going to earn with ads. So dig deep in here when you're planning your content. But be aware, when you find topics that have really high click rates and high ad earnings, it's typically also what we call YMYL. It's typically because it's about credit cards or financial stuff, or just health in general. In these topics there's a ton of money to be made, and it's also where it's almost impossible to rank a new site. If you don't know what I'm talking about here, about this YMYL stuff, check out this video up here. You need to see that if you don't know what this is. It's really important to make sure that you don't write content that you will never rank for. But unfortunately, there's no way you can know for sure how much money you're going to earn with ads on your website. So you just need to test. Write on a lot of different subtopics within the niche that you are in. And batch out that content. Write 5 articles about this, 5 articles about this, and so on and so on. Because as that starts to rank, you can dig into all these articles and see exactly where you find the highest earning articles. I have a lot of videos about how to maximize your earnings with ads, but I think the best video for you if you're just getting into this is this video up here, where I'm comparing my numbers across 6 different sites. You'll see exactly how much money I'm earning with Adthrive and how much money I'm earning with Ezoic. across a lot of different niches. It's very, very helpful, and it will teach you all you need to know in order to get into the right niche and the right ad network. And of course, you should also subscribe to my channel so you'll know whenever I put out new tutorials and new tips for you. Hit the little bell and the little subscribe button so you'll get notified every time I put out new videos. And give this video a thumbs up. I'll see you guys next time.